It's no secret that at the professional level, athletes who may be drafted or signed out of high school or college are often physically and mentally woefully unprepared for the rigors of professional baseball. What I think is even more alarming is the trend that goes on from Little League all the way up through high school, college, and the professional ranks. Beyond just injuries, the competitive landscape is getting more and more challenging. Only 3% of players ever drafted will make it to the big leagues. It's becoming tougher and tougher to not only make a college team, but to even make your own high school team. We firmly believe that training at Cressey Performance gives players a competitive advantage in spite of those odds, because they know they've worked harder and smarter than any of their counterparts.
When you have a strength coach that every year is researching and asking opinions and going through research and finding out why things work and things don't, it's a great thing. You know, Eric's really good at that and making sure that when times change and they find out more research on things, that he's going to implement that into his workouts.
What kind of kept me coming back and what made me buy into it was the results that I was getting. That offseason I put on like 30 pounds, 25, 30 pounds, and my velocity went up immediately. So I was signed throwing 82, 83. I went into my second full season throwing 92, 93.
Guys who show up to train in Hudson during the winter are guys who really want to be there. And generally, if you've got athletes who really want to be in the gym and want to be working hard, then you're going to have an environment where athletes are pushing each other, they're supporting each other, they're pulling for each other to have good results.
I come here instead of living in Phoenix in the off season because Eric is the best at what he does. He just helps you set up your individual weaknesses, because obviously he pinpoints stuff and he's so clear and so confident about what he's doing that there's no hesitation there.
I was a little wary to come up here. I was a little far away, and once I was here, I knew it was going to help my career in my rehab process, and right now I've never felt this good going into a spring training.
Everybody in here right now is, a minor league baseball player, trying to work their way up, and when you see everybody else making progress and everybody working hard in here, it drives you to another level, and I think that's what separates Eric.
I feel like I've been searching for the last couple of years for that perfect workout or that perfect facility, and what I thought I knew about weight training and about rep schemes, and not even close, to what Eric's knowledge is.
I think one thing that stands out about Cressey is definitely the environment. And again, you're coming here 5-6 days a week. It's tough to get people to really do that and come in every day and give it 110%. But I think when you come in here, the trainers are really here to help you out, and they're pushing you and motivating you. And you see all these other minor league guys in here, pro guys that are getting better, and you see what they've done to get to double, AAA, get some time in the major league. So those are definitely role models that you're looking up to, and you want to be in their position in a couple of years.
Well, that's what I like about here. The atmosphere is real light. Even though everyone here is striving for the same goal to be in the major leagues, it does take a grind on you, especially during the season. It takes a toll on you mentally and physically. But here, with the atmosphere, everyone keeps it light. Everyone jokes around with each other. Even though we play on different teams, it's almost like a little family here.
I've never been around, 20 other professional baseball players that, really want to, make themselves better, that really want to work hard and, get stuff done. And, that's the best thing for me. All these guys, they all want to be here and want to better themselves.
One of the hardest questions that I get asked is, what's your training philosophy? In reality, that philosophy is dictated by the player. Because at the end of the day, we need to individually assess everybody and come up with a comprehensive and unique program that's suited to that player's needs. And that's going to be influenced by a lot of factors beyond just what we see on an initial assessment of mobility and stability, and by looking at his health history. An athlete's training experience is going to factor into the equation, as a professional player who was drafted out of college is going to be different than a player who came directly out of high school.
For a 15-year-old kid, who's passionate about baseball, who lives and breathes baseball, who has very high aspirations for himself in baseball, seeing people who are successful at various steps along the ladder has shown him that what it takes to be successful as far as hard work, and the opportunity to interact with these people and realize every person here has had failures along the way. It's a priceless experience.
Whether you're a freshman in high school or a senior in college, he talks to you in such a way that you're able to not only understand and download and implement it, but kind of have an idea of where we're going with this. He doesn't just leave you and set you on your own course. You don't walk around floating aimlessly through a floor of, weights and people lifting weights. He kind of gives you an idea of what you're doing before you do it, while you're doing it, and after you're doing it. And I think that's really what's most important.
My son lives, dies, breathes, bleeds baseball, and has all his life. Eric and my son are literally on the same page with everything: diet, exercise, workout. I say every dollar I spent here is paid off 10 times.
One of the first things that Eric said when we sat down to draw up our floor plan for the business was, I don't care how we set it up, but I don't want mirrors in the gym. I don't want this to feel like a commercial gym. We're gonna have chains, we're gonna have sleds, we're gonna have unique equipment that you don't see at other places, things that are gonna be specific to Cressey performance.
I think what sets us apart in the field of baseball development is that we are so specifically focused in the baseball niche that we're able to see how all the different pieces fit together to create a synergistic training effect. It's not just our job to make our athlete tired or convince him that he worked hard. It's our job to understand the relationships among a variety of factors. These factors include static and dynamic flexibility efforts so that athletes can't just get into certain positions but perform in them subconsciously. They include medicine ball drills, which we use to train rotational power, maintain pitching and hitting specific flexibility, and work to iron out asymmetries. We address movement training so that athletes can develop both linear and lateral speed and be efficient with changes of direction. Soft tissue work and manual therapy are big pieces of the puzzle as well, as we're looking to not only address pre-existing conditions, but work proactively to prevent these issues before they reach threshold.
I've worked with people since I was in high school, and I pretty much threw as hard as I did sophomore year in high school all the way until I graduated college. And I came here for one off season and I added 5 miles an hour on the top of my velocity.
What I got from Eric was something I couldn't get anywhere else in the country, in the world, I don't think.
Last year was my first year coming here, and I stayed healthy the entire season and also made it to my ultimate dream. I played the last 2 weeks in the big leagues. So I mean it's just it's a tribute to Cressey performance. I mean, this is the place to be.
Eric, his program's just that good. It just makes you want to drop everything and come up here because he knows so much. It's not like I'm going to tell Eric no. Eric knows a lot what he's doing.
Nutritional guidance is a key component of our overall program as well. Rather than just hand an athlete a simple diet, we educate them on how to incorporate healthy eating into their lifestyle.
I came in after the season about 184, 185. I'm up to 205 now, and I've never been this heavy and felt so good.
You're gonna get the training atmosphere. You're gonna get the ultimate training. You're gonna get the nutrition side of it. You're gonna get the programming side of it. Just everything that comes along with training with Eric is, I think, is just above everybody else.
Integrating the throwing program and dedicated arm care effectively with the rest of the strength and conditioning plan is also an important part of what we do. We collaborate with each pitcher to piece together a throwing program that not only incorporates what we think can help them throwing-wise, but also emphasizes what they've done in the past to be successful on their own. This throwing program is complemented by video analysis using the Right View Pro software so that pitchers can not only see where they may be struggling with their mechanics, but also appreciate in slow motion how mobility and stability limitations may be holding them back.
I think that people have this misconception about what the weight room training is doing for baseball players. They have this football mentality in mind where you're going to get very restricted in your motion or your delivery. But the way that we've applied the science is that we understand the unique demands, and we're trying to keep the shoulder mobile, the hips mobile, and develop stability around the other joints so that it really is a true functioning piece on the baseball field.
We can't be putting the food on your plate. We can't be getting you to bed on time. And we can't be making sure you do your homework or you take care of your family responsibilities. But if you follow our feedback and you apply what we're telling you, you're going to see big results. You're going to see your goals achieved if they're reasonable and attainable.
At the end of my career, I want to look back and be able to say, I gave it everything I had. I worked with the best, I trained with the best, and I got the best out of myself. And so knowing that, I wanted to go to the best, and I want to train with the best and get the most out of myself, so that's why I'm here.
You have a short window of opportunity to make the most out of your career. So why not go to someone that is going to give you the best opportunity to make a big league club or to be better at your job, which is baseball?
Taken all together, we feel like we're in a good position to help an athlete not just make the most of his offseason, but set him up for success by making him an informed consumer on how to take care of himself in season, throughout the rest of his career, and in the years beyond it.